Hey guys, welcome to Magic TV. My name's Craig. If you're watching this video, it means you've seen the review show with me and Ryland where we talked about Peter Egg Inc.'s CTG, Card Under Glass, Card to Glass. And on there, I performed a version of that with a regular pack of cards and regular coins. And I promised anybody who watched that review that if they wanted to get an explanation, they can do. And if you're watching this, it means that you've actually wanted to watch the explanation. So first of all, thank you very much, first of all, for deciding to watch this. And also, secondly, for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. If you've got any other magic friends that you know that you'd like to suggest watching the channel, I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, this trick is great. Unlike Peter's, it uses a regular deck of cards that you can use in any other routine. And you just need 2 coins. Now, any coins will work. I've borrowed a couple of pirate coins from Ryland. These are the Illusionist pirate coins, but any coins will work. And these are in your right-hand pocket, okay? So it's great for me because I normally have 3 or 4 coins in my right-hand pocket anyway, so I can do coin stuff. So, but you just have 2 coins in your right-hand pocket, any coins will work. You have a regular pack of cards, and when you want to do the routine, you just need to get yourself a glass. Now, any glass is absolutely fine. I tend to use one a little bit like this, like a whiskey glass or a shot glass. You don't want to go for one ridiculously high, but you could do. To be honest, the glass doesn't really matter, as you'll see in the context of the routine. So as long as you've borrowed a glass and you've got a pack of cards, you're good to go. So let's go into the routine right now. Okay, so what I tend to do is I tend to have this done after I've done a card trick or 2. So you've probably got the cards in play. Let's just assume that there's a spectator shuffling the cards or whatever. When you want to do the routine, you reach into your pocket and you're going to grab both of the coins, but you're going to classic palm one of them, okay? So you're going to classic palm one of the coins and you can bring the other coin out. You can either put it on the table or you can give it to someone to hold on to. What you then do is you say to somebody you're going to have them pick a card. Now, the entire time you do this, you're going to have a coin in classic palm. So you just spread through the cards and you get someone to take a card. When they take a card, they look at it and remember it. And while they're looking at it, you're going to rest your hand either down by the side if you're standing up or on the table. And you're going to drop that coin to fingertip rest. See, it's right there. I've just dropped it from classic palm to fingertip rest. And I spread through the cards. I tell them to say stop. Wherever they say stop, I take those cards in my right hand, and notice I've loaded the card underneath this right-hand pack of cards. So now their card, this coin underneath the right-hand stack of cards. Now they put their card back here, so it's the 2 of spades in this situation. And then what's going to happen, right? And this is really important. You're going to square up the cards. And this coin is just going to get loaded right here onto their selected card. So if you look at this here, you can see that this coin is just loaded onto the selected card as you square up the deck. Now, what you'll find is the right side of the deck is quite dirty because the coin's there. But what I do is I make sure the left side and the front side of the deck is towards the audience. And from there, it just looks like it's squared up, right? And you want to keep your fingers on the front, forefinger curled underneath. That way you can make it look like there's no gap in the deck at all. Now, all you're going to do is you're going to take the cards in a deep biddle grip, and it's really important it's a deep biddle grip because you want to cover the front of the deck. And you say, I'm going to put the cards in the case. I'll get back to them in a bit. Now, all you're going to do is you're just going to put the cards into the case, and you're going to keep that front of the deck covered. What's happening now, if you can see, is when they open up the cards later on, they'll see a gap in the deck. But you keep your fingers covered up, and then you just close the box like that. So in essence, what you've done before the tricks even began, you've loaded a coin on top of their selected card. And you say, we'll get back to that in a bit, and you just put the cards out the way. You now introduce the coin. You can have the coin and the glass examined, and you say that the whole idea is to get the coin into the glass. Now, what you're going to do here is you're just going to apparently put the coin into this hand, and you're going to do a false transfer. Now, the coin needs to end up in classic palm, so you could either do a retention pass, and as your hand rests on the table, you classic palm it, or an easier way would be just to display the coin in open classic palm and pretend to dump it into this hand. Or the way that I like to do it is you pick up the coin, classic palm it, but hold your fingers out here as if the coin is still behind the fingers whilst it's actually in classic palm, and then just pretend to put it in this hand. So that one looks like this. I want to watch the coin really carefully, okay? And so now it's in classic palm. Either way is fine. use your favorite method. And what you're going to do is you're going to hold the glass like this. And all you're going to do is drop the coin from classic palm into the glass. And I do it as I blow. So as I come up here and I say, watch the coin, and I blow it, and that's when the coin, they hear the sound. And when they hear the sound, they look over there, they see a coin, and then I open up this hand and I show the coin's gone. It's kind of like a 3-beat process. It's 1, 2, 3. So in full speed, it looks like this. Watch. The idea is to get the coin into the glass like that. Now, once you've done that, this phase is the reason you need a glass like this. If you've got a wine glass or, a glass that this won't work, and you'll have to miss this phase out. But this is a really nice phase. You're going to repeat the same trick exactly the same way again. And all you're going to do is you're going to hold the glass like this. So notice it's kind of a weird position. You come around, you're holding it against the side of the forefinger and the thumb. And what that's going to allow you to do, and let me just expose it here, it allows you to apparently dump the coin out. And when it gets to this position, you just curl your fingers in. And then from here, you just use the thumb and the forefinger as a pivot point. That stays there. And you just pivot this glass round so that you can then drop it in again. Let me show you that from the front, what it looks like. Watch the coin. Maybe you missed it. Let me do it again. And what I typically do, and you'll notice that, is I act like I'm actually pushing it through the bottom. So when I'm in this position, I go 1, 2, 3, and on 3, I open up this hand like this, and at the same time, I allow that coin to drop, and it looks like it goes through. So again, it's a very weird position to hold the glass, but you're holding it here. You come down, you grab it here between your fingers, and it's not actually a finger palm, you're just holding it in place. And then this just pivots around the forefinger and the thumb, so it's the right way around. And I'm not really dropping that coin, because if you look here, can you see that? Is that because the coin's literally almost ready to drop in anyway, the action of me hitting the glass against the hand dislodges the coin into the glass. And after you've done the first phase, this follow-up phase, it just looks, well, timing was slightly off there, but it just looks amazing. Let me do it with correct timing, sorry, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. 1, 2, 3, there you go. So that's the second phase. Now the third phase, you tip the glass out, you tip the coin out, and you say, now the problem is, maybe, just maybe you think that somehow I'm cheating and I'm sneaking it into the top of the glass. To prove that I'm not going to do that, I'm going to use the cards. Now what I've done there is they think the coin's here, it's actually already underneath the card box. So all you're going to do is you do a false transfer. Now the coin needs to end up in fingertip rest. So you could either do, again, a retention pass, or what I typically do in this situation, because I don't want to make a big deal of the vanish, I'm putting the coin in this hand so I can pick the cards up. So I literally just have the coin positioned here, put my thumb on top and just put it in that hand. I'm not even palming it. My thumb is just holding it in position. I'm still holding it in position. Then I come over and I pick up the cards, and you can see all that I do is I use my thumb here to pivot the card box up, and then I just take the cards like this. And the coin ends up underneath the card box. And it's not a big deal. You say, now maybe you think that I'm cheating and I'm sneaking the coin into the glass. So to prove I'm not going to do that, I'm going to put this card box on top of the glass. And if you want to, you can turn the card box over and quickly flash the other side. And all I'm doing there is I'm pulling that coin back underneath the card box. So it's actually off the card box, but I do that as I turn my hand over. So it looks like they say underneath the card box. Now, this is probably the trickiest part in the whole routine. And it's the thing that requires the most practice. You're going to put this on here, but you need to do it silently, like this. Watch. You need to do it silently. Did you hear that? You didn't hear anything. Okay, but in that action, I've now put the card box onto the glass with the coin. And I want you to see where the coin is. It's right. Don't know if you're going to be able to see this. So look, you silently put it on there. I don't know if I lift this up, Sarah, can you see underneath where that coin's positioned?
Yes.
Yeah, you can see it's just there. It's been held in place. It's almost ready to drop, but the weight of the card box is stopping it from dropping, okay? So again, you're here, you pick up the card box, you put this here. Now, you want to try and make it as silent as possible, but obviously in real world conditions, there's ambient noise that will completely cover it. Now, you'll notice I've not completely covered it over the glass. You can do, but I wouldn't bother, to be honest. I wouldn't bother. There is absolutely fine. Now, all you're going to do is you're going to put the coin through the card box, and this looks amazing. Remember, there's no coin here. The coin's there. So I do a fake take. I take nothing. which kind of really makes them believe there's a coin here, even if they think there's not, because why would I take something in the other hand if there's nothing there to begin with? So I pretend to take the coin, make a fist, and all I'm going to do is bring my fist down on top of the card box, and as I do, I move the card box slightly, and that drops the coin into the glass. And the whole thing just looks so good. It's the false transfer, it's the positioning of the card box, full fake take, boom. It looks really, really good. Now at that point then, all you do is you say, well, I'm going to go one step further now, and I tip the coin on top of the card box. Now all I do is I say I'm going to go one step further, and I apparently put the coin into this hand. But all I'm doing is I'm putting my thumb on here, and I'm turning my hand over, and that just stays there in position. So as I say, let's see if we can go one step further, and I turn this over like this. They think the coin's here, it's still here. I just dropped that on the table. And I say, let's see if we can go one step further. I'm going to try and get the coin onto the card box. Watch. And I say, and I show that the coin's vanished, and I say, look, there it is on the card. And it's kind of like that magician in trouble scenario. It's there on top of the card. Oh, it's kind of like an oh dear. I say, well, sometimes this happens, and when it does, it actually goes underneath the card box. I'm so sorry about that. Let's try that again. Now you're going to want to completely vanish this coin at this point. So there's a couple of different ways of completely vanishing the coin. You don't want to palm it out. You could either just vanish it and just dump it in your pocket when everyone's attention's over here. What I typically would do is do a thumb palm vanish. So I have it in thumb palm, and as I've got my attention here, I say, look, I'm going to wave my hand over. And as I say, I'm going to wave my hand over, what I do is I drop that coin from thumb palm into my top pocket. Okay, so when I do a complete vanish, that's normally the one I go for because I don't wear sleeves. So it looks like this. Watch, I'm just going to wave my hand over the coin, and this time it really disappeared. And so now it's in my thing, my hands are empty, and I can show, and I go, oh no, it's not there. Well, that can only mean one thing. And now I can open up the card box and I can say, do you see a gap in the deck? And they'll say yes. And then you just very carefully bring the cards out, making sure that the dirty side, this side here, is towards you. Okay, you don't want them to see the coin sticking out. And then you just put that down on the table, you pick this up, and they see a card, and then they see a coin, and then when you turn this over, this will be their card. Now, one thing to add to this is this can be a signed coin. And if you're going to go down that route, get yourself a coin and put your initials on both sides of the coin. Okay, so put your initials. The easiest way to do this is to get a double-headed coin and get your initials put on both sides of it on the double-headed coin. That way, when you bring the coin out in classic palm, it doesn't matter which way up it is, you know it's going to be heads with your initials on there. So at the beginning, you do the same thing. So you show the card and you have it put back and you load this here. So you've loaded your double-headed coin into the box. Now, you can borrow a coin. Let's say I'm using a 10p for this and it's a double-headed 10p. You can now borrow a 10p off them. So you go, hey, have you got a 10p I can borrow? Or if you're in America, have you got a quarter I can borrow? And you get them, you sign the head side. You say, I'll sign this side. You sign that side. They sign that side. Now, the whole routine, I won't go through the whole thing again, but the whole routine you're doing with a signed coin. The whole thing, the whole routine goes with a signed coin. And when you get to this position at the end, instead of doing a complete vanish, just do a normal vanish and have that coin in classic palm. So you just do a normal vanish and then you just pick the glass up and you say, well, that can only mean one thing. And you show the gap and then you open up the cards. And when you do, you lift up, right? And they see the coin. Okay, and they see a head side because it doesn't matter which way it's orientated. They're going to see a head side, and they see the coin, and you put the card there, and you go, well, here's the thing. This coin landed right there on that card. Now, all I'm going to do is a shuttle pass. I'm going to drop this coin down to fingertip rest, and I just turn this hand over, putting my thumb onto the coin as this hand turns palm up. So I'm switching this double-headed coin for the signed coin. And the misdirection for here is I've just took the card. I say, turn the card over. Is that your card? And as they turn the card over, I do the switch. And so the card is switched. And then all I do with this coin is this comes here. I put the cards down on the table. This ends up in finger palm in the left hand or fingertip rest in the left hand. And then I can just put this coin away, or I can put the cards away, or I can just casually put my hands in my pocket and I can ditch the gimmick ready for the next performance. So it can be a borrowed signed coin and a borrowed deck as well, and a borrowed glass. Everything can be borrowed. But yeah, that's the routine, guys. That's the trick. So there you go, guys. That's the routine. I hope you enjoy it. I personally think it's a lot better than the Peter Egging trick, but then again, I'm a bit biased. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. It's a very commercial routine. And guys, if you could do me a favor and A, not share this video around, and B, just tell everyone about the channel. You know, I'm really passionate about growing the channel and making it a place that magicians can hang out. So if you like the content I'm putting out there, please let others know. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thanks very much for watching, and I'm sure I'll catch you again soon on Magic TV.